Hi there, this is Tata, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Friday, May 31st, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about Friday Night SmackDown. Didn't watch the show and came to be spoiled. Alright. So, let's talk about AJ Styles. So, last week, Nick Aldis had told him that he had to get to the back of the line. But AJ Styles kind of hinted that he doesn't have enough time left. So he had like two different segments, and he closed the show tonight. In the first segment, he's like talking to Nick Aldis, and he has this little fancy suit on. And like he was asking for time to adjust his future. So then in the second segment, he runs into Gallows and Anderson. He wants them out there, and then he whispers something to Cody. And the whole point of all of this is that he goes out there and he's like cutting this very emotional and heartfelt like promo talking about his son graduating from high school. He does a too sweet gesture with Gallows and Anderson. Of course, if this all sounds familiar, it's because it is. Cody Rhodes comes out. As soon as I saw AJ Styles in that suit, I have to say, it reminded me of Mark Henry and his pink salmon suit. You guys remember when Mark Henry faked his retirement and he attacked John Cena? This is what this reminded me of, and it played out exactly the same way. So, he starts talking about his match with this reminded me of Mark Henry's retirement and then took out Cena. Exactly. This is what this reminded me of too. So he thanks Cody Rhodes, and he's out there with Cody. They even hug, and stuff like that. And what does AJ Styles do? He attacks Cody Rhodes, and then he does this Styles Clash off the steel steps. So clearly, AJ Styles is not going to wait in line for a match against Cody Rhodes. But now it's interesting that since he was out there with Gallows and Anderson, even though Gallows and Anderson didn't attack Cody, I wonder if that means it'll be kind of like the Club versus Cody Rhodes. I wonder who would back up Cody Rhodes in that type of situation, honestly. But I thought this was a good segment with AJ Styles. I think he sold that fake retirement really well, and so did Cody Rhodes. I will say, with this whole TNA NXT promotion, I really hope that AJ Styles ends up going to TNA, even if it's just for a cameo appearance. I definitely would like to see that before he retires for good. But with that being said, like I said, I thought this was a good segment. I think everybody saw this coming. I don't think there was one person who believed that AJ Styles was going to retire. I think we all kind of figured this was going to be a Mark Henry situation, and it was. But what did you guys think of this segment? In-ring retirement announcements are going to be the new thing that doesn't end well, like contract signings and weddings. That is true. You can throw that up there. Oh, and celebrations too. So, I think it was really well done. That Styles Clash off the steel steps, I was like, dang, that was vicious. Okay, so SmackDown kicked off with Queen Nia Jax's coronation. And she really got into her role as queen. Don't put that out there, Ricky Bobby. Put what? And basically she's gonna face Bayley at SummerSlam, so she wanted Bayley to go out there, and Bayley got attacked by Piper Nivens and Chelsea Green. And Chelsea Green kind of makes it known that Piper Nivens might be championed by SummerSlam. So this is an okay segment. Were there any QR codes for White Six? There was a QR code actually, but I didn't scan the QR code. Backstage, Naomi approaches Bayley and asks if she's ready to fight. So, you know what that means? Tag team match, player. Wow, already shows up with the opening look who came out. We get Tommaso Ciampa versus Austin Theory. One of the things that I noticed about this match is that on Grayson Waller was on the outside and he was yelling at Michael Cole, basically saying that, him taking credit for Austin Theory's success. And I guess Austin Theory hears this because it's cost him the match Tommaso Ciampa won. So I feel like they're gonna break up Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. It seems like it. They were building to it, and I think that's what they're heading for. I do think DIY will probably take those tag titles off of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, and maybe we'll have a feud between Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. But I thought they had a decent run as a tag team. It should last a little longer, but we'll see where they go with that. We had a backstage segment with Nick Aldis, and he's like talking to Bill Davenport. Like the whole point of this is that LA Knight, comes in and he wants to talk to him about Logan Paul, and like Naomi also gets her match granted. So this leads into an LA Knight, interview and segment. And the whole point of this is that he basically was looking for Logan Paul, and he wants to challenge Logan Paul for that U.S. title, which has long been rumored to be the situation. I really hope LA Knight, is the one that takes that title off of Logan Paul, and he becomes a new United States champion. It's criminal that LA Knight, hasn't won a title on the main roster yet. But one interesting thing here is Carmelo Hayes interrupts him. So it seems like before LA Knight, moves into a feud with Logan Paul, he has to deal with Carmelo Hayes, because it's not the first time Carmelo Hayes interrupts him. That's the way to go. Logan versus Knight, finally. I do think that is the way to go. But like I said, I feel like he has to deal with Carmelo Hayes, especially because, like I said, Carmelo Hayes has interrupted him in the past. I wouldn't mind seeing a match between Carmelo Hayes and LA Knight. What about you guys? So, we get Apollo Crews versus Andrade. I felt so bad for Apollo Crews because we haven't seen Apollo Crews in who knows how long on the main roster. And he loses this match. Now, Angel Garza seems to try to be recruiting Andrade to Legado del Fantasma. And I feel like Andrade shouldn't even be in a faction. He should be by him. So I don't know why they split him up from Zelina Vega. But this was an alright match. It wasn't bad, but I just felt bad for Apollo Crews. And then, like, at the end, Legado del Fantasma come out. Apollo's still with the company. I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. And, like, Andrade basically walks right past them, and, like, Santos Escobar turns to looks at Angel Garza and doesn't seem happy. I guess because he wanted Andrade in Legado del Fantasma. That doesn't seem to be happening. I hope this is not a rinse and repeat of, like, their feud with Rey Mysterio. Like, I don't know why they feel the need to throw all the Latino wrestlers in a feud, but I wouldn't mind seeing a match between Santos Escobar and Andrade, but I just don't think that feud should be a repeat of Rey Mysterio's feud with Santos Escobar. Oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So we get the Bloodline segment, and this is basically like Paul Heyman like telling Solo Sikoa that he's recruiting violent men. Obviously referring to Tama Tonga and Tangaloa. And let me see. I know Patrick Mahomes she said those are real super. Oh, really? He never gave them back? Oh, I didn't know that. So, like, Heyman is trying to tell them that they need to keep Cody Rhodes on check, and Heyman asks who is we, because Solo says that they have him on check. So I think Paulie Wee is referring to him and like Tama Tonga and Tamaloa. Rey versus Santos is gonna happen. It already did happen. I was talking about Andrade versus Santos. And this leads into a Kevin Owens promo. I thought this was a really interesting promo by Kevin Owens. And I really like the fact that they alluded to his history with Paul Heyman, because, Paul Heyman interrupted him. And he brings up the fact that, like, Paul Heyman went from Brock Lesnar to Roman Reigns to asking who his next cash cow is. And, like, Kevin Owens has every right not to believe Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman was there at the center of everything. Like, when the Bloodline was attacking Kevin Owens and stuff like that. I honestly feel sorry for Paul Heyman. I think like he's being held hostage, and if he is, he should like blink twice. Maybe they can save him. Like, I like the fact that Kevin Owens remembers that the Bloodline hit him with the golf cart and stuff like that. But this leads into a brawl with Kevin Owens, the Street Profits, and the Bloodline, which sets up the Guerrillas of Destiny versus the Street Profits. Now, in terms of this Bloodline, I feel like this was kind of like your usual typical segment where like they use a segment to set up a match. Especially, they do this a lot with the opening. Like, they always use the opening segment to set up a match. I'm surprised that actually they kind of did happen. But that's what this got into. The Guerrillas of Destiny versus Street Profits, which was an okay match. I just feel like the Guerrillas of Destiny, like, this is their first tag match. They didn't really make an impact, so to speak, here. I mean, it was obvious that they were going to win. But I just wasn't a huge fan of this match. Like, nothing that happened in this match was like, oh my god, they're like freaking badasses or something like that. So, we get Bianca, Belair, and Jade. And, like, Indy Hartwell confronts them. And, like, she brings up the fact that Bianca injured Candice's knee and that Candice is at home. Which is ironic because Bianca brings up the fact that Candice said to her first. And so Jade says she's gonna put Indy on the shelf next to Candice. So I'm really liking the tag team of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Obviously, I think the end goal is for them to feud with each other. But I'm very curious, like, which women's tag team could possibly be the ones to take the title off of them. I don't see it happening anytime soon. I know they got a tag match against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks, but I don't think they're the ones taking those titles off of them. So, Michin gets interviewed about AJ Styles, but she gets interrupted by Nia Jax. It seems like they're going to set up a match between Michin and Nia Jax because Nia Jax tells her not to step up to her. So I just feel bad for Mia Yim, and she hasn't been really utilized on the main roster. I know she's competing in that ladder match in NXT, so we'll see how she does there. But she's ever since AJ Styles kind of pretty much abandoned the OC, Mia Yim has just kind of been there. We get Bayley and Naomi versus Chelsea Green and Piper Nivens. This was a decent match. Why am I not surprised at all that Naomi was the one that got pinned here? She got pinned after Piper Nivens tossed Chelsea Green onto her. Oh, my ring light went out. I need a new ring light. But it does not surprise me at all. You guys know how I've talked about Naomi's booking in the past. She hasn't really done much since WrestleMania. I feel like she's just been kind of there. Hopefully, I'm not getting my hopes up, but, I'm hoping that she's not just there, she does other stuff too, but I don't know. I was not a huge fan of her getting pinned here, but, they weren't going to have Piper Nivens pin Bayley, but they should have, though, because I think Piper Nivens and Bayley I need another ring light. So that's going to happen at Clash of the Castle. So it would have made sense if Piper Nivens pinned Bayley, but, they chose to have her pin Naomi instead. So that was technically the main event because SmackDown ended with that AJ Styles stuff. So I'll just stop right there. All right. So on a scale from a 1 to a Sean Spears perfect 10, this was a 3. There was nothing really on this show that I liked or that I found exciting. Although that Kevin Owens promo was pretty good, and I did like the whole angle with AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes. This sounded no reason to watch it over DVR. I really just was not a huge fan of this at all. I'm hoping next week is a lot better, but I'm not holding my breath. But with that being said, you guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. I did go to Comic Palooza and I uploaded John Cena's video. Well, just his entrance, because I wasn't allowed to record the panel. And then I did go to AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday, so feel free to check out some of the clips they posted. And if you're a fan of TNA, I do cover TNA on Body Slam, so make sure you check me out every Thursday on Body Slam if you like TNA. But with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching. Don't forget to and for the continued support. And I will see you guys Monday after Raw. Bye.